Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be going fast again. Cause what, you think I was gonna let this engine just get off scot-free without pushing it to its limits? We got a brand new engine here, and it's practically taunting me by saying low effectiveness and low top speed, but it does have high acceleration. This engine does work underwater, and I got a lot of comments saying to try to break the sound barrier underwater with this engine, but I can pretty confidently say that will not happen for two reasons. There's the technical reason that the sound barrier underwater is much faster than the sound barrier in air, but if we ignore that, because the game does too, and just think about generating a sonic boom, the drag underwater is ridiculous, and it's hard enough to do it with stacks of underwater engines, let alone an engine that makes wheels spin. But let's do the land vert. We just need to push this engine. Can this engine break the sound barrier is the question. Now, what's interesting about this, and part of this video is also going to be testing the difference between these two engines, because this engine says high acceleration, low top speed. They didn't bother to put the term low effectiveness in here, but they did for this one, which is weird, because this one has a power of 500 and this one only has a power of 333. So it makes me wonder if this is low effectiveness, this has to be worse, right? But maybe not. So let's do a quick test here. What's the weight difference actually? So this is 9.37 kilograms. This is 30 kilograms. Okay. And also look at the size difference. So this is a 3 by 2 by 3 by 2 by 2. So you could fit 3 of these engines in the same hitbox. So this is actually, and these 3 engines, 9.4, this is close to 30 kilograms, but it's still lighter. So at least by mass, these engines should be way more bang for your buck. Mass, or not mass, at least by volume. By volume, those engines are way more bang for your buck. But this gets me curious. Let's do a quick test between these two engines. I just want to test one engine. What's the aerodynamics on this one, actually, by the way? So we've got yellow aerodynamics. Red, 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 yellow. Okay, so it is more aerodynamic to have it facing this way, which does make sense visually. And then you got this engine, which is red, red, red all around. So my question is, despite the power rating, power 500 versus 333, is there ever any reason to use the Triton engine over the Bulldog engine on land? Seems like this engine is going to be good if you need to transition underwater with a wheel-based vehicle. But if you're just going to be on land, does the extra power really help? Let's find out. Oh, another interesting thing. It's double the power cores. Everything about this except the power seems worse in my opinion. So I got a quick little vehicle. Let's go ahead and go and probably bring our speedometer up. I like the sound of it. It sounds interesting. Okay, you know what? We can't do this. This is the wrong test. We need to actually have it in the back, because when we switch over to the Bulldog engine, I don't want the aerodynamics of this engine changing the result. And we do know that trailing aerodynamics doesn't matter right now in the in air. All right, 75 kilometers an hour with a single engine and terrible aerodynamics. That's actually not too bad. All right, so this is 30 kilograms. We are removing 30 kilograms and we are adding, I'm just gonna round that up to 10. So can we add 20 more kilograms back here? Well, actually, I guess here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add 3 of these engines. And unfortunately, this does not attach to the wheels, because this would be the same. Okay, hold on. We're going to redo our test. I'm just trying to make this as close as possible. But my plan is to disable 2 of these engines. So 2 of these engines are not going to have any controls. And the wheelbase is 1 block longer on this, but I'm going to redo the test with the other one. We'll see what we get up to. Remember, this is only 1 engine with less power. You see 3 engines there, but only 1 of them has power. And there is a difference. 58. I'm going to say 58 kilometers an hour. Now, let's just confirm. I'm just gonna put these engines on. So with 3 engines, you can see clearly much better when it comes to the amount of volume. This is way better with just 3 of these engines. But here's an interesting thing. Let's do 2 engines, because this is the same amount of power cores. And it also beats out the Triton engine. So if you're gonna use 2 power cores and you're only gonna be on land, you should be using 2 Bulldog engines. Or even a raw, I think the raw engine is also 2 power cores. This just has low acceleration. So if acceleration is important, then you're gonna want the Bulldog engines. If you want a higher top speed, maybe this one. But let's just redo the Triton engine real quick because this test has different engine, or different wheelbase. I'm predicting it should be around 75 anyway. So this one, wait, did it say low acceleration or high acceleration? All right, we're pretty much the same, 75 kilometers an hour. It says high acceleration, but look at, I mean, I guess it goes up to 65, 60, it goes up to 70 pretty quick, and then it slows down on the acceleration. The acceleration drops off quite rapidly. But if we do 2 power cores, gonna take away 1 engine, equivalent power cores. Like, look at the difference, though. So much better. I think what we're looking at here is an interesting trade-off, and it depends on what metric you're looking at. If you can only use a single engine, and it has to be between the Bulldog and the Triton engine is better. If you can only use 2 power cores and you want high acceleration, the Bulldog engines are way better. If you can only use this amount of space on your creation, the Bulldog engines are way better. But then you can also fit a Dragon engine here, which is even way better. Actually, this gets me kind of curious now. We're getting a little bit sidetracked here with what we're testing. I was trying to break the sound barrier, is my ultimate goal, but I'm getting lost in the weeds of testing the engine. So 146 kilometers an hour with these. This is 3 power cores. Now, if I take another 3 power cores with this thing, way better. Okay, way better. That engine, nothing beats a Dragon engine. Dragon engine is just the superior engine. And then, out of curiosity, you know, just for the sake of making sure everyone feels included, we're gonna go raw engine. Why is that? Oh, this is not attached. We're gonna have to add a tiny little thing. There we go. All right. This has low acceleration, but it's definitely way better than the Triton engine and way better than even 3 Bulldog engines I think we're beating out here. So when it comes to top speed, for a single engine, for 2 power cores, I think for 2 power cores, not a single engine, but for 2 power cores, raw engine is actually pretty good. All right, now that we've tested out the use cases of the various engines with this new Triton engine included, now we gotta break the sound barrier with how many Triton engines does it take to break the sound barrier? And how do we want to lay them? I guess we just do this. They attach kind of nicely like that. Although I kind of like this, kind of gives me cool vibes. I kind of like the way that this looks. What was my I haven't broken the sound barrier with a wheel-based vehicle in a while. And I don't remember what my ultimate method was. Did we go mono wheel? Or did we have a wheel in the front and a wheel in the back? I think we had kind of like sets of wheels almost. I think we had wheel in front and wheel in back. I think I'm gonna go with that. I do believe this wheel was the best one. Yeah, and even the aerodynamics of that wheel are visually better. But we have this wheel now. This wheel didn't exist before, but I think I like that wheel better. I think this wheel is tried and true. And I think they also fixed the glitch where, what do they call it? I think they call it the trait glitch or something. But with this wheel in the back, it used to cause your vehicle to flip forward, and I read some patch notes that was fixed, but we will find out. All right, so there's that. We got a wheel in the front here. Now we need some good aero. All right, how many engines do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 engines right now. Let's check out how this feels. I think we got as good aero as we're gonna get here. All right. Forgot about the balancing. All right, there we go. Not bad. I mean, actually not great considering how much space we're taking up with just engines. Why are we turning slightly in one direction when all of my arrow is clearly equalized? I mean, they're not, it's not completely symmetrical as far as where they're placed, but the amount of wedges facing left and the amount of wedges facing right is equal. And they are all going the same exact speed. All right, so we are about a quarter of the way there. So just making sure everything looks good. I am wondering though, if I do make this equal. See, then I gotta add more weight here. Honestly, I think I was doing fine. I think we just go like that. Oh, but this one has to move back because of that red arrow. Everything's there for a purpose. All right, I do remember there being a limiting factor when it came to how long I could make my vehicle and how stable it was. So we've got 6 engines right now. Let's triple it up to 24 because I know that doubling it is not going to get us 4 times our speed. Honestly, I know that tripling it isn't either, but I want to see where we're at. I'm hoping we can get to like maybe 600 here. Oh, this isn't looking good at all. This is actually making me question if this is even going to happen. Oh, I was like, what did I hit? I didn't realize the wall was that close already. Okay, this is looking pretty bad. This is looking real bad. Like, I definitely broke the sound barrier with the Bulldog engines, and I don't even think it was that hard. But they stack so nicely and so compact. I probably had a lot more than this. These ones are very large, like a lot of space. So adding a lot of these is going to get us to unstable territory a lot quicker. Because we can only really add them lengthwise if we're going to save on our aerodynamic efficiency, which is everything in a sound barrier video. So this is 24. Let's double it from here. Double it and pass it to the next person. This is looking so bad. Like, we were just over 400 kilometers an hour with 24 engines. We're at 48 engines now, and we're not much farther above 400 kilometers an hour. I actually am starting to think this engine is too weak to break the sound barrier. I kind of want to look up my Bulldog engine video now to see like how hard was that. All right, apparently it took me close to 140 Bulldog engines. So I got a ways to go. The problem is those 140 fit in like this amount of space. So this is what we're at 48 now. All right, let's just add 2. So I believe we're at 50. Wait, we can't be at 50. Did I miscount? Okay, let's go in 20s. Okay, so there's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. We're just gonna go up to 100. Speaking of nice round numbers, if you didn't see, yesterday I uploaded my 1 million subscriber special and did a full office tour of my entire YouTuber office setup and everything. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out after this. All right, we got 100 engines, which makes a lot of sense here because there's 201 power cores. So you divide by 2 and -1 for the gyro stabilizer. All right, and we can't move. We're too heavy. These engines are much heavier than the Bulldog engine, so that is a problem. This is actually a really big problem. This is a huge problem. So I will have to add, this is gonna just add inefficiencies, but I'm gonna have to add like another wheel to the middle of this. But now this adds more aerodynamic stuff that you just really don't want. And is this even going to solve our problem? It does not appear to solve our problem. This is really bad. This actually might be a limiting factor. Like, we might not be able to do this. The engine is just too... The low effectiveness. It is too low effective. It is not effective enough. I don't like where this is going. We're just grinding. We are just grinding on the ground. This is not good. I'm adding more wheels, knowing that it's only going to hurt me in the long run. Okay, there we go. We got something here. We got to up the strength of this. It's not enough. Okay, we need to reverse some of these. I don't know about this. This may be the engine that defeats me. It's so bad. It's actually so bad. It's worse with 100 engines. Ow. 100 engines is worse than however many I had before, which apparently I miscounted. I think I had like 30 something. Maybe close to 40. It's the weight. These engines are too heavy. So one thing we could consider is the gimbal method, but I don't like the gimbal method. I used the gimbal method with the medium tank tracks. Not a fan of it. I mean, another thing we could consider is the ski method. I've heard that method working for tank track, like the large tank tracks, because I'm a little bit more inclined to say the ski method is valid than the gimbal method, because the gimbal method is power cores that adds power to the vehicle. Although it's not power in the direction of travel, you are using power cores to essentially lift your vehicle a little bit. The skis, they kind of work as just a barrier against the ground that doesn't have friction or has low friction. They're not providing any force in any direction. So I don't know. I'm going to try it with skis because right now our problem is not the wheels or engine power. Maybe. But it's the fact that our engines are sitting on the ground. So where are... Skis should be somewhere here. I think medium skis are the right width. Yep. So I'm wondering if this will work, if it's just in line with everything. So we save on the aerodynamics. However, we will need to attach it, which we can use our chrome bumper trick, because these things do not have aerodynamics. And these engines will need to be upside down. And of course, that does not going to... No, this will work. All right, let's see if that seems to help. I don't know. We're definitely better off... I don't know. 400 is like the anchor speed for these engines, it seems. I might just need to add enough of these segments in here. This is clearly not enough. Let's do segments of 10. All right, so that's 20. Let's go back up to 40. Okay, let's see if these skis help. That's weird. That's like way better than I was expecting. I feel like we had a similar amount of engines before. Now the skis aren't even touching the ground. All right, so we're back to kind of where we were, 415, 420, 430. Okay, we're doing better. This is 40 engines. All right, let's double it and pass it to the next. All right, so now this is 80 engines. So a lot closer to where we were before, where we were just sitting on the ground. So the question is, does this sit on the ground anymore? It's so bad. I honestly didn't think this was going to be a hard challenge. I thought I was just going to stack a bunch of engines and go, and eventually I'll reach enough engines to get enough speed. Because that's kind of what happened with the Bulldog engines, but they're just not as heavy. We don't have to deal with this issue. Okay. I don't know. I mean, if I make the skis lower, then we run into more issues. But I don't even know if the wheels are going to have contact with the ground at this point. All right, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 engines. And then we essentially want this as our connector, because then that fills in the aerodynamics. But now we're going to have a bunch more aerodynamics on the bottom here. Let's go up to 80 again. So this is 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 80. And then we will add the wheel to the back. Now the wheel is actually in line, but now I feel like the wheel's not going to get any traction. It doesn't feel good. We're still rubbing. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, because I'm like, we're still on the ground, but the skis are also on the ground. They have suspension that is totally being overridden. Look at this. Here, can we like... Yeah, look at that. Wow, they've got a lot of suspension. I was not anticipating that. I really wasn't. Okay, we got a new thing to try, which I know is going to be even worse for aerodynamics. Well, I just got to see how things are working. So now, if we turn this engine back this way, and then we move this down. So now the even fully compressed suspension on these shouldn't be, the engine shouldn't be touching the ground. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 80 engines again, keeping that part the same. But now our wheels aren't even on the ground. Like, look, the wheel has to be down here now, which is just adding more bad aero. Okay, so if that's gonna be there, we need to attach it. It's not even gonna attach the right way. No, like that, and then like that. There we go. Wheel attached. No unnecessary arrow. That's better. Because now we're resting on the wheels, essentially. Actually, the wheels might be able to stay up because the compression of the suspension might still put us on the wheels. But our speed is still bad because we're just having bad aero all the way through. And you guys wanted me to do this underwater? The air is not even gonna work. Like, I think it's generally not gonna work. All right, back to the building board. Get rid of the skis. What if it's wheels? All right, I got another 80 engines, but this time I have wheels in between. It's kind of working. But look at our speed. Our speed is not getting better. We're just adding worse and worse aero. This is bad. This is bad news for the Triton engine. This is bad news for the Triton engine. Is this the worst engine in the game? Wow, I'm doing even worse now. So what I just did was I raised all of the wheels up so that they only have one aerodynamic arrow instead of 2 aerodynamic arrows. Still 80 engines, and it... Oh. This wheel did not raise up. That was the secret. Found the problem, and that was also a problem in previous builds too. Oh. That's not good. But are we really going to be that much better than 400? It's not looking good. Yeah, look at that. We're ticking up to 400, barely. We're barely breaking 400. Okay. Well, this seems a lot more weight supportive. But it's just the amount of arrow that we're adding. Like, all these arrows are just not good. But let's keep going. We're at 80. Let's go to 140, which is what I was able to do with the Bulldog engines. So 120, 40. All right. There we go. It's worse. We can't even break 365. It's because of all the aerodynamics we're adding with each wheel. We're not getting any more power. Like, it's just... the Triton engine is just not cut out for the sound barrier. We are pushing it to its limits, and it's just not working. Wow. You know, hold on. We gotta try something, though. Is it the Triton engine? Or am I just not able... Am I bad? Can I do it with the Bulldog engine? I did it with 140 Bulldog engines before. Do I have a good or bad vehicle when it comes to that? So here's 10 Bulldog engines. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 2, 4. Wait. Did I miscount? Oh, I did miscount. 111, 120, 130, 140. Can this thing support its weight? We add a wheel to the back. It did kind of change how wheels work a little bit. We are on the ground, which is interesting. Like, I'm looking at my other design from the old video, and I don't know if it was like this or if the wheels were actually down a little bit more. Well, we got to put the wheels down a little bit more, at least in this version. Maybe like the weight, the wheel's capacity to hold weights feels like it might be different. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, there we go. We're definitely not riding on our wheels now. We're blasting past 400 though. So remember, we have the... I think, yeah, we have the same amount of engines that we did in the last test with the Triton engines. But we're such a smaller vehicle. Look at this. We're zooming. We're accelerating. We're keeping on. We're just going. We're not slowing down. We're accelerating. We're going to hit the edge of the map because we didn't start at a corner. But this thing is perfectly capable, I believe. We're going to break 1,000 if we don't hit the edge. The edge is right there. We broke 1,000 anyway, but what? We're going to do this. We just need to go corner to corner. All right, here it goes. I think this thing should break the sound barrier, and if it does, I mean, already it's outperformed the Triton engine, like, by an insane amount. But if I break the sound barrier with this thing, I was worried. The reason why I'm doing this is because I was worried that something had changed since I broke the sound barrier with these engines, and that building heavy vehicles with engines like this and on wheels just was different, the way the wheels interacted with the ground. But I think this is showing that that's not the case. You can still build a really fast engine-only vehicle. And whatever issue is happening is a Triton engine issue. Not a Bulldog engine issue, not a ground-based vehicle issue. We're 1100. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it easy. I don't even see the edge of the map yet. Okay, we are slowing down a little bit though. I am a little bit concerned about the space, but I think we're gonna do it. Yeah, we got this, no problem. There it is. All right, I think with this amount of engine power and twice the power cores, literally twice the power cores, we couldn't even break 400 kilometers an hour reliably. With an engine that supposedly has 500 power compared to the 300 and the measly 333 power that you see with that, I think we have a new worst engine in the game. I mean, it goes underwater, okay. It can do whatever, it can do something that no other engine can do, which is go underwater. But if you're not using it for that purpose, you shouldn't be using it seems like. Unless for aesthetics. It is pretty aesthetically awesome. The design of it is pretty cool. But I think the testing in this video, in my mind, has determined we have, at least power-wise, despite what the numbers may tell you, I feel like this right here is the worst engine in the game. Its power to size ratio is just not cut out for... Its power to size ratio just doesn't compare to any other engine. Even its power core to size ratio, its power core to output ratio just doesn't make it worth it. So if you're looking for ultimate maximum efficiency with a low power engine, don't use the Triton engine. Use the Bulldog engine. Plus you get some new skins with the Bulldog engine. You can make it look and sound different. So I'm going to accept failure on this one. I cannot imagine getting an extra 800 kilometers an hour out of this thing than what I've been able to get. Not without cheating and using zero drag, of course, but in any valid way, I don't think the Triton engine is capable of breaking the sound barrier. So I hope you learned a lot from this video. I definitely did. I was not expecting it to fail. If you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.